All right. Hello, everyone. Megan, I'm making you the co-host. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Happy 2020. We did it. Hello, hello.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hi, Anne. Hi, Donna. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Gerda. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jill. Hi, you guys, as you're jumping on. Hello, hello. Welcome to the first leverage call of the new year. We're so stoked to be here with you. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Kia. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Obsidian. Hi, everyone. Take a deep breath. Let yourself land here. Unmute yourself. Make a little noise. Tell us you're here. Tell us you have arrived into 2020.
Arrived.
We're here. 2020.
2020 is here.
And the ride here.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, beautiful leverage women. As you guys are hopping on, I want to just put a stake in the ground that 2020 is here. How many of you have felt like 2020 is a freaking wild ride? I'm like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. I'm like, is this really what it's going to be like all year long? Whoa, I feel like I'm on a bucking bronco. Anybody feel that way? Some of you. If you're not, then you must be doing some really advanced spiritual work. So congratulations. Welcome, you guys. Today's call is all about really stepping into even another level of enrollment, not just competency, but like really high level mastery and ownership of your enrollment style, right? Like, how do we go beyond just the grow model? And how do you start owning the grow model so that it's yours, that you're bringing your full self to it? And today we're also going to be doing some strategic planning around looking at your goals and your intentions for this year as a whole and the first quarter of this year. And we'll be talking a little bit about the Bring a Friend contest. Yay, we're launching it today. We have some folks to honor in a moment with your videos, and we chose winners from the I'm a Big Deal contest, which was so hard. I want to say one quick thing about Africa, but I want to say welcome, Megan. Thank you so much for being here to lead this call with me. What are you most excited about for 2020?
I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and I'm excited for 2020 to really be an opportunity for all of us to claim our vision and step into leadership in an even bigger way. I can feel like Sage was speaking to the power and the potency of this time for sure, and I think we're ready to meet it.
Give us an aha and a wahoo if you are ready to meet this power. 2020, game on, best year ever for our businesses. Ready, everybody?
Game on!
Yes, game on.
Oh, yeah.
And then go ahead and look into the camera and just look into each other's eyes and just give each other a little nod. Let your power be seen. Let your power be felt. Hello, Janine. Hello, Dr. Leah. Hello, Junie Moon. Hello, Rachel Cooley. Hello, Sophia and Deanna and Kate and Marcella and everybody who just hopped on. Rachel. Hello, Olga. Hello, Deb and Janine and everyone. It's so good to see you all. What an incredible year we have in store together for us. As many of you know, in the last month, I've been back and forth to Africa. I've led a team retreat. I've been back and forth to the Midwest to see my family. And we're launching this week. Like, yay me. And on top of all of that, it's probably not that much of a surprise that I got sick. Oh my gosh, I've been sick as a dog. I had the flu last weekend, and I haven't been this sick in probably 3 years. What I'm realizing throughout all of it is that the only way through when it gets hard is to freaking love it. And so I'm here to put a stake in the ground for every single one of you right now. Like, how can you fall in love even more today, this week, with what you're doing this year in 2020, so that that love carries you through everything? You know, I got off the plane with Serena and Shannon Fisher and Megan Walrod in Uganda. And within 24 hours of being there, we were swarmed, like literally, you guys, swarmed by hundreds of Ugandan teenage girls in their tattered socks and their pink dresses, singing songs of empowerment. We heard stories one by one of these girls standing up and talking about how their uncle tried to rape them, but they learned the tools at Girl Power to say no and to be physical and to push him away and to grab his balls. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna be bold and just say the truth right here, right now to you guys. The teachers knew who we were. The teachers knew that Women Rocking Business had funded the entire trip. Women Rocking Business was printed on the back of their t-shirts, 1,000 girls for Girl Power. We were the reason that 1,000 girls got empowerment training that prevents the violence and the rape, and that educates these girls about money so that they make good choices about, you know, who to marry and whether they get pregnant or not at age 14. And I've never had a trip change me so much. So we are opening doors for a few of you to go with us again this year. Jill Stein was there with me. Jill, what do you want to say about the trip? Jill, I just feel like you and I went to the other side of the world and had the most incredible experience ever and came back, and now we get to live it. What do you want to share?
Literally the other side of the world. Yeah. The amazing thing is you just realize that, like you said to me, Sage, you can create whatever you want in your life. And getting to go on a trip like that showed me that I could create that in my life. And then just getting to spend that time with the team, bonding, and all the people that we met. The whole trip gave me a whole new perspective on life, and just learning so much about how powerful your story can be and how you can bring that power back and share it with all of your clients.
Oh, you guys should have seen Jill stand up and tell her story in front of like 100 of these girls. Let's give Jill a kiss. Mwah. Jill, it was so amazing to be there with you. And you guys, Jill and I got a chance to go from being swarmed by these girls, dancing with them, singing with them, hugging them, belly to belly. There's such a we energy in Africa. Raise your hand if you've been to Africa and you know what I'm talking about. Like, they are one human race. Like, they are we. It's a we culture. It's not me, 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 me. It's we. What can I do for the whole? And what I was most inspired by is when I asked these girls what they wanted to be when they grew up, what was their dream? They said they wanted to be teachers and lawyers and doctors. And I said, where? Where do you want to do that? Thinking that they'd want to go somewhere else. And they said, I want to help my people. I want to stay in Uganda and help my people. Every single one. I must have heard that 40 or 50 times. And it really opened me up to realize that we can only go so far alone. And the African culture has a word called Ubuntu. And have you guys heard this word? Ubuntu. Write it down. Like, this is a whole concept. I've been geeking out on this ever since. It's Ubuntu, Ubuntu. It means that I am me because you are you. They have one word, just like the word namaste, right? Like, the word namaste can like kind of shift your whole perspective on life. Ubuntu is the same thing. I am me because you are you. Like, I truly can't fully be me in the absence of you. Can you feel the we-ness of that, the togetherness of that? This is the opportunity that we have as entrepreneurs to create environments, to create relationships with our clients where we realize this is not just every man for himself anymore. You know, I'm not going to get political on us right now, but you know, we could be going to war with Iraq any moment. Like, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news, but like, like, to me, this is why we do what we do, right? We create the livelihood, the career, the relationships with our clients, the relationships with our team members, so that we can start creating the world that we want to live in. And that's the opportunity that we have as women leaders. And I can come back from Africa and I can, think about the fact that these girls are walking half a mile to get water from a dirty stream. I walked with them with a dirty jug in my hand, and I filled it up with about 5 gallons of water and walked back to their house together with them. And they're asking me, do you walk for water? And I'm explaining, no, I don't walk for water. I have a pipe that goes into my kitchen. And yesterday morning can happen, and we're in a launch right now. We have 13,000 people standing by, ready for me to go live on the video camera. And the stream doesn't work. So the video is not streaming on Facebook. Technical difficulties. It's day one of the launch, 13,000 people are standing by, and the video's fritzing out. And I start to freak out about it, and then I'm like, girls in Africa are walking for water. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Like, what's the bigger opportunity here, right? And by the time we had put notes in the Facebook group that we were so sorry for the technical difficulties, we had, hundreds of people emailing the office saying, no worries, I'll be on tomorrow. This morning, we had hundreds of people on live thanking us for, the live that worked perfectly today. In the midst of having the flu, I'm here to just remind every single one of you that what gets you through is your love. It's your love. So just grab a piece of paper right now and just start. We're going to have you taking notes all throughout the call. But the first thing I'm going to invite you to write down is, I commit to making my love even bigger for my clients and my business in 2020 by doing what? What is it that reminds you that your love can be bigger? Bigger than the fears, bigger than the setbacks, bigger than the flu, bigger than the video not working. When we make it about us, it's never going to work. We're dead in the water. But what has you tap back into that love that would pull you through anything? And as you write that down, I just want to take a couple shares. Then we're going to show you some videos and talk about enrollment. Because at the heart of enrollment is love. At the heart of enrollment, of you enrolling a client, is you loving them and standing for them and letting them choose whether this form of love between the two of you is the next step for them, right? So who wants to share what taps you back into that love? Kate, what do you got?
It's what we talked about in morning motivation. It's my mission. It's not about me. It's thinking about the people I'm serving. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thinking about the people you're serving, really tapping into your mission.
I froze Sage.
Yeah, I think she's frozen for a second.
That's it. It's not about me.
Beautiful, Kate. Yeah, turning your attention towards the people you're helping. It's not about you. Beautiful. Kim Lee.
Well, I guess thank you for that morning reminder, Kate. Thank you. For me, is the love that I hold for the suffering, for the male and female who are suffering with their broken heart. It's just like they are dying in that wherever they are, they can wait to really meet me in my medicine, my love for them. So that's what keep me going again and again and again. And thank you for the reminding of not about me. It's about the people that are waiting for me to serve them. So that keep me to become bigger and more powerful than who I really am.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
I know I see lots of hands popping up now. Lucy, you raised your hand.
Hello, Happy New Year, all. So I had an incredible thing happen over the holidays. I was in a restaurant having dessert with a friend. When she went to the restroom, a woman came up and said, "I just have to tell you that you have a high purpose and you are completely on the right path. You've been, what's the word, anointed, and what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing." She said, I told my husband that. He said, "Go tell her." I said, "She's going to think I'm crazy." And it reminded me, holding that awareness, you think, oh, helping people have businesses, but people getting to be entrepreneurs, living their passion, growing, it's like, it's huge. Anyway, so just remembering that I'm not just helping people make money. I'm helping people reach their dreams, change their lives. I'm not articulating it well. It's like she articulated it. And so this year I'm just holding on to that awareness that God or whatever gave a person in a restaurant a message for me. And so I'm holding on to that.
Beautiful, Lucy. And you're listening to that and taking actions from that. So beautiful.
Thank you.
So awesome, Lucy. I just caught the last bit of your share. More technical difficulties over here, but I'm back. Kiss for Lucy. Mwah. Thank you, Megan.
And kiss for Kate and for Kim. Mwah.
Mwah. All right, last one. Deb Rubin, what you got?
For me, I'm realizing that when I feel disconnected from source, like for me, epic nature, wild dance parties with great DJs and music, epic dance parties in epic nature, anything that really drops me back into my body, but feeling connected to spirit and the bigger thing, helps me be able to tap back into that love and that connection for other people, that when I get too heady and too closed down and too locked in strategy, that I lose that ability. I get, I mean, that's kind of what happened over the holidays, where it was like I was trying technically in strategy, but then that like expansiveness of what I'm holding. And that so for me, the commitment for 2020 on that piece of how to deepen into the love and holding all my clients is upping my like radical self-care in like these epic ways of put myself in those situations that feed my soul and my spirit.
Yes, beautiful. Give her a kiss. Mwah. And something you said in there that I think is like one of the most pivotal things for us to remember is that when you get in your head and you're thinking about it too much, it becomes work. Like for me, one of the big hacks is that I can work really hard when I need to if I don't categorize it as hard work. Like if I'm just acting, I'm writing, and now I'm writing, and now I'm on video, and now I'm taking a quick walk when I have a 30-minute break, and now I'm back at my computer for a couple more hours. If I'm not thinking about it, I'm just in pure action, it's actually delightful, right? And so when you find yourself thinking about it so much, just like Deb said, what do you need to do to get back into your body? Are you a dancer? Do you like to read a book? Do you like to take a walk? Do you like to meditate? What is it that gets you back? I love that. So the next thing I'm going to do before I hand it over to Megan is I'm going to have you lock this in with a word. And I'm going to invite you to choose a word, a one-word intention for this year, for 2020. I'm going to head over to the Facebook group and put up a sticker so that you guys can post your word over there. But think about what's the word that you know will pull you forward the most. And I'm choosing the word we. Let me tell you a little bit about how powerful this word can be. A few years ago, I chose the word team for the entire year. And that was the year I hired Jen Sebastian. It was the year I hired, I think that might have been the year I hired you toward the end of the year, Megan, at least part-time. That was the year I hired Tanya Califoot to run our events. And I started learning everything I could about how to motivate a team, because it's different than how to motivate clients. And I wanted to build Women Rocking Business as a team. And the year before that, I chose the word prosperity because I had never thought of myself as prosperous before. And that was the year I bought my house. And we can make all kinds of fancy intentions for the new year, but when we nut it down to one word, a word that we know could pull us forward the entire year, it can be game changing. So head over to the Leverage Facebook group and find the sticker that says, what's your one word intention for 2020? I see Sarah posted enough. Obsidian posted receptivity. I love that for you, Obsidian. Christina, completion. I love it. Closing loops, completing completing projects. Tiffany is trusting her intuition. What's the word? And it could be that you want to play with it and try on a word for a day or two and see if that's really the word. Do you know what your word is, Megan?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, my word for the year, a couple words, is life is ceremony. Rather than going to my yoga mat or meditation or some kind of ritual ceremonial space for a few days, as I have done for my whole life, this is the year I'm really interested in living my life and all of my work in alignment with that feeling.
I love it. Life as a ceremony, waking up every day into the ceremony of your life. That is like the ultimate spiritual surrender. Kiss for Megan. Mwah.
And I have to also say the year that I chose affluence as my word, that was the year I had my $250,000 launch. That was the year I stepped onto bigger stages. I really embraced it because I wasn't pushing it away. So just if there's any word that feels like, I kind of want that, but that's kind of gross, and I don't know if I could embrace that or if that belongs here, also pay attention to those places.
I love that. Marine's playing with a few: integrity, leadership, responsibility. I love that, Marine. And if you choose leadership, that could also kind of insinuate responsibility, right? Like, think about a word. I like to think about a word that kind of encapsulates several of the different pieces that I'm moving into. Olga's all about implementation. Gerda is all about resilience. Lori is willing. I love that you're willing. Did I say Junie's about manifestation? That's such a good word. So we're going to introduce the winners of the Big Deal contest. And the second and third place winners of the contest win a $1,500 gift certificate toward Leverage next year or any other program that you might want to do at Women Rocking Business. And you win a spot on the Women Rocking Business Live Success Panel in March. And Megan is going to start with third place. And I'll turn it over to you, Megan, for why we chose this video.
All right. So our third place winner is an incredible,
drum roll, please,
incredible leader. And I'm going to open it up to share my screen so we can watch a little clip of her video. You will see in a moment. Third place winner is Elizabeth B.
Elizabeth, you're amazing year after year. This might be your third video you've made for us.
Congratulations. And we just want to show a bit and highlight a few of the things that are especially compelling, so that for all of you making videos, you can start noticing what are these things that stand out about videos so that you can use them in your business too.
Are you a big deal? My name's Elizabeth B, and I'm definitely a big deal. I'm the founder of the Women's Holistic Business Academy. I just got back from an amazing vacation in Hawaii, and now I'm in Southern California. But how did I get here? Before I found Women Rocking Business, I was struggling. I was barely making $500 a month. I was scraping, and I found myself.
Can you guys hear it? It's hard to hear.
I was burnt out, spinning out, and ready to give up on my dreams. And I knew that something had to change. And then I found Women Rocking Business, and the shift began. There were 3 important things that I did along the way. Number 1, I leaned into the systems and the structure and the coaching that was being given to me. Number 2, I made a commitment to my business to say yes, to get to the front side of it. And number 3, I stayed with one incredible community, Women Rocking Business.
So good.
That was a big deal because I created a multiple 6-figure company in just 2 years. I rocked the stage alongside Danielle Laporte. I landed a keynote, and now I'm getting offered keynotes all the time, and I'm going to have to start to say no to some.
She's going to have to start saying no to keynotes.
$100,000 in a weekend last year, $250,000 in a weekend this year, and who knows what's possible for 2020. I can't wait.
I love it. All right, Megan, let's flip back over. I want to point out a few things about these videos. We're going to share like the first minute of each one. I want to point out something about that is Elizabeth's intentional use of structuring her video. There were 3 things I did. It keeps us listening. Can you feel that? It keeps us with her. What else would you say, Megan?
Yeah, the other thing I really loved about yours, Elizabeth, is you draw us into the video. You're sharing, and even at the end, you're calling people to action. And at the beginning, it's not only about you. And at the same time, you're also really clear about your results. You're willing to share the numbers. You're willing to stand in the power of what you've created, but doing that in such a balanced way, which I think is a huge part of your success, that you're willing to do both of those things, really showing your credibility and at the same time inviting other people to stand in theirs.
Elizabeth, you've gotten super good at video. What would be in one sentence? What would be a quick tip you want to share with everybody?
Ask lots of questions to your audience.
Yes.
Yeah, really make it about them and engage them and make sure you're talking to them. Like look at them and talk to them.
I love it. I love it. We're stoked, Elizabeth. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Oh, and really, that's such a good tip, you guys, to look into the video camera and picture somebody's eyes there. You're talking to somebody. Choose one person. It's something I do all the time. Definitely write this down. When you guys are making videos, choose one person that you're talking to. It will change the entire energy of your video. All right, second place winner, $1,500 gift certificate. And I think you get, what else, Megan? 3 Gold Pass coaching sessions?
Yes, I have multiple screens open here. One moment.
I've got it. It's
second place. Yeah.
Gold Pass coaching sessions and a spot on the panel. And that's what Elizabeth gets too. All right. Who is it? Drum roll, please.
It is Vanessa Callahan.
Vanessa, woo!
Hi, Vanessa Callahan here of Raising Our Vision. So before Women Rocking Business, I was literally avoiding all sales calls and all sales activities. I wouldn't even share my gratitude curriculum and research with folks that I had worked on for so many years. And I was wondering how to make money as a mentor all on my own, having left the school system and left the classroom. And I was really unclear about who I wanted to serve, who my ideal clients were. And in some ways I was feeling really stuck and hopeless and was even kind of hiding out in an unhealthy relationship because it was easier to stay in that sort of hideout than face the fact that I was really uncomfortable with sales and kind of not sure what to do next. Then I did events that changed lives and it was life-changing. And by the time I was at the March event, at the end of the March event, I had signed my first 3 clients. And by the end of April, I had 5 more, and that was already $20,000 of business. I started to realize this really works. And I kept following the system, and now I'm up to 18 private clients with a total of almost 50K of income. And launched my first group program. I have 4 families enrolled, and I'm still enrolling, and that's brought in another 30K. So in 10 months, I've secured $80,000 into a brand new business that I just launched March 1st.
Give her a kiss. Mwah. Well done, well done. What did you notice about Vanessa's video? And you guys might be saying, oh, well, their results are so impressive. That would be so much easier. And that's actually not what it is, especially like you're about ready to see our the first place winner. And there's something that some of you did in your videos that was so intimate that is similar. What would you add, Megan?
Yeah, I would say for Vanessa, one of the things that I see you doing is really being just so relatable. You're so like real and present and grounded in your sharing. It feels like you're just a friend talking on a FaceTime video, and at the same time, again, sharing your total credibility, and how amazing that this is just since launching in March.
Yep. Exactly. And you guys, I have to say, this was like the hardest decision of the year for us. I don't think it's ever been a harder decision. We sat around at our team retreat and there were literally like 15 names on my little Post-it note of everybody that we thought should be the winners. And it was like, what are we even going to do? So I'm just here to tell you, you are the winner. If you made a video, you are the winner. And if you didn't make a video, you still can. But it's like, you are the winner because you claim, and you are here claiming that 2020 is the year your love is so big that the strategies flow through you and that you're going to rock this whole thing. You know, this is the commitment that makes the biggest difference in your business. It has nothing to do with whether we call you the winner or not. You know, you're the winner because you made a video. That being said, there's somebody here that has been through a lot in the last year, and she made a video that had us all in tears. And she's our first place winner, and she wins a $5,000 photo shoot, a spot on our panel, and a $5,000 credit toward next year's programs. And that winner is, drum roll please, Megan, go for it.
Pamela Bruner. I mean, not Pamela, Deborah Bruner. Deborah Bruner. Deborah, your video had us all in tears, and all of us really feeling the power of your willingness to step into your commitment and your recommitment. So we're going to share a little bit right now.
Hi, my name is Deborah Bruner, and I'm the founder of Rose Women Warriors, and I am a big freaking deal.
Can you turn the volume up at all?
Violence and drug addiction. And
I've got the volume all the way up on my side, but go ahead if anybody can turn their volume up higher as well. We'll try.
I love sharing my story of hope and inspiration with other women. Unfortunately, over the past 8 years, I haven't really made a viable business doing this. When I went to see Sage Levine in Santa Cruz at Women Rocking Business, and she was on stage talking about how we could do signature talks, and we could do retreats, and we could do discovery calls, and all these things I had no idea about. I was like, oh my God, I can do what I love and make money? I'm all in. So I was so fired up and ready to go. Little did I know, just a few weeks later, on April 13th, I would get that knock on the door that no mother ever wants to get. It was a police officer telling me that my eldest son had passed away. I'll tell you, my world just fell apart in an instant. I mean, he was everything to me. He was the one who gave me the strength to leave the abuse, to quit the drugs, to turn my life around. And now he is gone. See, I'm a big deal because I didn't quit. I kept going. I learned how to do opt-in pages, and I learned how to create my program, Breakthrough to Your Inner Warrior, and I learned how to do a red hot special. I even did my first signature talk since he passed away in November. I had 12 women there, and out of them, 5 signed up for a discovery call. See, when life knocks me down, I get back up and I keep on walking. because I know that there's still women out there who need me. So I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to honor my son, and I'm going to keep moving forward with this business. So yeah, I'm a hell of a big deal.
Ah, Deborah, you make all of us stronger. You make all of us stronger. We're so proud of you.
Thank you. Ooh, I am, wow. I'm in such shock. I was just, before today's call, I actually went live. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And I was nervous because nothing was going right. Everything was going wrong. And I said, I just have to do what I've been doing this whole time. And I'm just going to keep pushing through. And I'm just going to do it. I cried too. So yeah, Shannon told me on the call when I wasn't sure if I could continue, and she said, you will never find a better group of women to hold you and to support you. The sisterhood here, we got you. And 100%. And thank you so very much. It is the love of my son. It is the commitment to the women that are still suffering in abuse that need to get out. And I will keep pushing every day so that they can get out. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, Deborah, really, like, who does that? Who faces that kind of a loss and then within months hosts their first signature talk and ends up with 5 discovery sessions on the calendar? Like, you are a light, you are a beacon in this community. And every single one of us is stronger waking up when we have the excuses go through our head, or we don't feel good, or I was coughing in the night, like, oh well, people are waiting for me. People are waiting for every single one of you. And because of your courage, I'm like getting goosebumps when I think about what we can do this year as a community. And I
am so ready.
I see every face here just nodding and just giving Deborah your eyes and your yes for just one more moment. Deborah, I'm so excited to have you on that stage in March. And we're going to get some beautiful pictures of you to celebrate your absolute radiance. Your son would be so proud. And we are all going to rock 2020 in the name of everyone whose shoulders we're standing on, everyone who's passed on, and everyone who is waiting for us. Kiss for Deborah. We're so proud of you. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
It's going to be a heck of a year, women, a heck of a year. So where do you go from there? I'm pulling it together over here. Okay. So some of you have noticed that we are in a launch right now. If you haven't been checking it out, I definitely recommend that you guys do. We have about almost 1,400 people now tuning in to our Facebook group. And raise your hand if you've been peeking in on the Stage Superpower quiz or the 5-day video challenge that's going on this week. Awesome. So we'll do a debrief of that launch in February. Like, this is a really cool opportunity because you guys will get to watch the launch, and then you guys have direct access to us. Do you know what I mean? So it's a launch that you can be on the inside of. You can watch the way the videos weave together. You can watch the storyline of the videos. You can take notes for your own videos. I actually love to sit there and watch some of my favorite colleagues' videos and webinars and just take notes on my own videos and webinars. What would I do to create that same kind of story arc that he or she is creating right now, right? And then definitely take a note of any questions that you have so that we can debrief next month. And I definitely, if you haven't already, I recommend you guys take the Stage Superpower quiz and then head over into the Women Rocking Business Sisterhood group And check out the Facebook challenge. And let me just show you guys real quick what that looks like. When you head over into the Women Rocking Business Sisterhood group, it's literally been just because of this. It's been just because of this launch that we've added an extra 10,000 people to our Facebook group in the last few days. And the videos are all up here. People are making their visibility videos. And if you guys go to this website, womenrockingbusiness.com/visibility, you'll be able to see kind of how we put that together and kind of get walked through the process. So definitely follow along, write down your questions, and we'll have an even deeper learning next month with all of that. I have a couple of announcements. And the first one is that many of you have raised your hand and said that you would like to be in Leverage another year. Yay, congratulations you. For those of you who are early bird Leverage, please note that we had to change the half VIP day from February 12th to February 18th. Okay, just make a note in your calendar. I wanted to make sure that I could be there for the entire time with you guys in February, and you still have a Tuesday in February if you are used to meeting with your board of directors groups that third or fourth Tuesday of the month. You'll still be able to meet with your board of directors on February 25th, but please make a note that we have a Leverage Early Bird VIP day on February 18th from 9 to 12. That's a half VIP day with Megan and I. And we're going to be rolling up our sleeves and really setting you up with a plan and a bunch of coaching. It's really your sort of cash ascension call. It's your call that's going to really make sure that you are in a place when you graduate from this year of Leverage to be able to confidently slide into the next year of Leverage. The second thing I want to add is that you received a couple of extra coaching sessions with that early bird Leverage status. Be sure to book those like now, like this month, because now is when we want to make sure we set you up for the next few months being so successful that staying in Leverage is just a no-brainer. I want to dive in to the new year business plan and the enrollment document. Let's actually start with the enrollment document, Megan. I think we should start there. And I'd like to start by talking a little bit about what enrollment is and what enrollment isn't. I want to hear from a couple of you, think about this for a moment. What is the spot in the grow conversation where you get the most nervous? Is there a spot where you feel it's not quite as smooth as the other spots? What is the thing about enrollment conversations or grow conversations that still kind of has you feel like less authentic? We're going to be taking a look at this handout in a moment about what enrollment really is. It's about leadership. It's about commitment. It's about truth telling, right? But who wants to share what still hangs you up in the enrollment conversation? Ashley, Abby, did I see your hand go up?
Hi, Sage. Hi, Megan. Hi, everybody.
Hi, cutie.
Hi. Okay, so my big hang up, I actually found out I love sales. I didn't think I really loved it, but when I feel super in alignment, I'm like, I'm so stoked to offer this for you and help you out. And Megan knows, because she's my badass coach, that usually goes pretty well. But my hang up is still when they're like, I've just already invested in a business coach, or, I've invested in now the speaking side or what have you. And I'm like, usually my answer is something like, and that's fantastic. And it shows that you value where you want to take your business and you know that this is the next right step. The fact is that they aren't talking to each other. And I'm essentially putting them all together. I'm putting your marketing and your media plans together. And I can't get past sometimes, Sage, this the money conversation of like, this is, stop wasting your time. This is the right next step. I know the investment is scary, but I can't, that's my one piece. The rest of it I can explain or like work through because I feel really aligned, but and I don't have a problem, Sage, standing in like what my value is of how much I know.
Yeah, but I hear you, right? When people are like, oh, I've made these other investments and I'm not where I want to be, right?
Yeah. And I like really don't ever want to have them feel like they've made a wrong investment because many times they need actually multiple people at once. That's just kind of raising the ship up. It takes a couple people.
And that's exactly where I think Megan and I are going to want you to go is to really remind them, just because you haven't gotten your results yet doesn't mean that you don't have growth in you from those investments, first of all. And second of all, the authentic truth of, okay, whether you've made investments in the past or not, what do you want to do now?
What do you want to do now? That's a good one. Yeah.
Right? Like, I hear you. I hear that you've invested. I hear that you're not where you want to be. But what is it that you really most want?
Yeah.
Right? And then for you to make sure that you get your results. Because I know I had been in a couple of group programs where I wasn't really getting some of the results I wanted. Mm-hmm. And that objection was still hanging me up until I realized like, oh shit, I need to go get my results from the group program that I'm in. Because those results are there for me. Like, I'm the one not getting them. Right. Yep. And so, for some of you to keep getting your results here at Leverage so that you can look into people's eyes and say, don't stop there. Don't stop. Are you going to let that stop you? Are you going to let that stop you of, oh, I've made other investments before. Is that it then? You're done? Like, obviously you're not going to say it that way, but when you're aligned with investing is a cumulative effect, right? Yeah. And is this the next investment that's going to tip you over into the whole set of results? And what are you willing to do? Megan, do you have anything to add?
Just how important it is for you to speak to Abby, the value of having multiple people on their team. And so you could phrase it in that way. Like, imagine someone was expecting their, virtual assistant to be their, their marketing director or like managing their whole social media. Like, not everyone's skills are going to be in the same area. And that's why, you want to lift them up and elevate them by saying, oh, you're really smart to hire people who are specialists in these areas. And this is my area of specialty, about connecting the dots for you so that you can really make the most use of all that you've already invested in.
Connect the dots.
Yeah.
People are so great. This is good. Connect the dots. That's a sexy message. Okay,
yeah. Cool. I love to say to people, congratulations for investing. Gosh, I'm like good job. And I just remember all the investments I had to make to get to where I was. It was like, I was right at the edge. When I found the coach that helped me the most, I was like right at the edge of my total capacity. Like, I can't possibly make one more investment. And then it was like, oh my gosh, like, I've been waiting for this. And that was the one that connected the dots. So it would be my honor to be that for you if you are ready, if you are willing to rise beyond that concern and, trust the one in you who's willing to give to yourself again and again and again. And I promise it will pay off.
Yeah, it will. I mean, that's the thing, is that part I can feel in alignment. Like, I can give you boatload testimonials, like, shit works.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's that one line is where I'm losing.
Yeah. Yeah. And to get soft in that moment, to get soft and be like, wow, I totally hear you. And, I'm wondering if you might be willing to make one more investment.
Yeah.
Kiss for Abby. Mwah.
Great. Thank you both.
What about you, Erin?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi. So I had this situation come up in December where I, worked with this girl and I thought it was a done deal into my VIP program. And then she ended up going with another coach in town and basically getting the bargain deal. So I said, just give me a week, just give me 1 week. And she came back to me. So I don't know if there's a way to give people a taste of what you're doing, but that for me, she felt the value. She saw the difference in the bargain price coaching versus the transformational coaching. So that was something for me that I was like, that was so easy. Like I was like, oh,
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Give people a session. Be like, let's get started. Let me give you your first session for free. It's on me.
Yeah. And some
you know, knock their socks off.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I did. I just was like, this is it. Like, and I just gave like, wow, it's amazing. And I just got feedback from her yesterday. She's like, this is the most amazing program I've ever been in. Thank you so much.
Give Erin a kiss. Mwah. And some of you might be thinking, raise your hand if you have any of this in you. I don't know if I'd knock their socks off. What if I couldn't do it? Raise your hand if any of that's going on in you at all. Just show me honestly.
Yeah.
So I want to speak a word into, feel the truth of this. When you say to somebody and when you say to the universe, give me a week to show you, and I'm going to give you everything I've got. Guess what's going to happen universally? Everything you've got is going to come through you. Can you feel it? Without that commitment, you're not fully in your greatness because it's really about making the commitment. It's about claiming victory in the middle of the test. It's about saying, I'm going to give you everything I've got. Let's try this for a week. And then guess what? You're going to get ideas because the question that you're going to be asking in your mind is, how can I give this person the most incredible week of coaching ever? And guess what? Ideas are going to come because your mind is built to answer questions. I love this. What about you, Kira, Lonnie? Where do you get stuck in the growth conversation?
Oh, I just got a lot out of what Erin said because I have a lot of people who say, oh, yes, I'm going to sign up with you. And then they come back and say, oh, now I decided to do this first and I'm going to come back to you later. And so it's like a combination of handling the money objection and then getting that commitment, getting an actual commitment. I think that's where I'm really struggling. I've had people do this to me. Yes. And then not yet.
Yes, exactly. And that's a great strategy. There's several strategies. That's a great strategy if you're not getting that commitment to say, guess what? I actually want to show up. I want to meet you halfway. Let's work together for the first week or 2 weeks. Or, if you put down your down payment, let's work together. If anything feels weird at the end of those 2 weeks, I'll refund you in full, right? Getting some kind of a commitment up front, I highly recommend. Megan, do you want to add on this one?
Yeah, I think it is a lot about building confidence, and the only way to build confidence is by doing it, like actually getting to have the experience with people. And so like Sage is saying, if you get a deposit up front that you say, hey, once you put this deposit in, I feel your commitment, I'll meet you halfway, and then we'll get started, then you know that they're at least in, like they're invested to some level, and you're invested and you're really showing up fully for them, and then they can still make that decision. But usually once people have had the experience of you and they've had the experience of themselves stepping into that level of growth, then they're willing to stick around.
Okay.
I love it.
So I have a couple people that I've done several sessions with them, and I have even done like a free session, and then they've, like I said, they said yes, and then they're like, oh no, later. And so then I think there's something in the reaching back out to them, the follow-up that I'm missing in terms of.
And it feels to me like you might be overgiving.
Yeah.
So I think for you, your work, I think might be getting people to put down that down payment, connecting people back up with their indulgent why. Let's talk about where I see you going. Let's talk about the relationship where you're effortlessly asking for what you want in the bedroom or whatever it is, right? Let's talk about you never having to feel that sinking feeling of shame ever again because you love yourself so much. What does that look like? What does that feel like? I would be honored to help you get there. Would you like to do this with me? Right?
That makes sense. I have successfully done what you just described one time. And
and that's what I see as your edge, Kira, because you're such a giver. and you're so in service, you're wired that way. And we want to make sure that you have the words to link up the commitment that you obviously have to their sexual freedom, their sexual sovereignty, their sexual empowerment, their, their relationship love empowerment. Link that up with the commitment they're making to the program. Link that up with the commitment they're making with their credit card, to really energetically merge those for yourself and put a stake in the ground. This is the year I'm not selling out. This is the year I'm standing for people saying yes with their credit card. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
And to be clear with the universe, I can do better work when I'm getting paid, when it's clean. It's got to be clean. Give her a kiss. Mwah. Raise your hand if you can relate to where Kira is. Like sometimes you just want to give. Kira, I think that was helpful for a lot of people because I just saw about half the hands go up. So I want to just go through a few of these. Notice which one of these hangs you up, right? Are you being in full leadership in the enrollment conversation? Are you being a leader? Are you owning your value? Are you leading the conversation? Are you leading your clients where you see they can go in the way that you see myself and the trainers and the coaches taking you somewhere at Women Rocking Business, right? Myself and the coaches are modeling a very clean commitment for you. And so when you're in, what's cool is that when you're in this transmission of Women Rocking Business, you can call upon what you feel here, because the coaches and I were all so clean in our commitment to where we're going with you. And you can take that leadership and just apply it to your own business, your own practice. When you're feeling, you might not be, sometimes you might be feeling a little shaky or a little wavering in your commitment. Just remember what it feels like to be here. That's why you're investing in this program, so that we can give you that transmission every week, right? Are you in that? Are you caring? Are you listening? Are you being genuinely present? Are you focused when you're in an enrollment conversation, right? Instead of selling out or going a little unconscious, or backing down on the dollar amount that you need to do your best job, right? What's the amount of money that you need to do your best job? Are you committing to not only to your client, but to your own willingness to follow through for that client? When you say to somebody, give me a week, let's do this session together. I would like to get you there. I'm going to give you everything I've got. Are you showing up and giving everything you've got? Because the truth is, there's always more to give. I don't care how busy you are. There's always more to give. Look at Oprah, look at Marianne Williamson. Marianne's running for president right now. Does she have time to run for president? It doesn't matter. It's like we make time for what's most important to us. And if our clients are important, we're going to show up for them, right? Are you trusting yourself to commit and show up? And if not, how can you do that more? How can you lean into your board of directors for support, lean into your coach for support, and really step into energetically practicing the power of commitment? Are you telling the truth when you see somebody playing small, when you see somebody making excuses? Are you actually letting them know? I'm hearing a lot of excuses coming from you, right? Are you being a truth teller? Remember that you're here to wake people up. You're not here to be their best friend. You're not here to go to sleep alongside them. When you're in an enrollment conversation and somebody says, oh gosh, it's been so expensive lately, I just had to take my car to the shop, and my husband this and that, what's happening to your vibration when someone's in their story? Are you letting yourself be drugged down? Or are you taking a breath, remembering that there's more than enough for everyone, remembering your desire and your commitment to make a difference for this person, and forging ahead anyway, right? And if somebody says no, let them go. I'm not talking about being pushy or manipulative. I'm talking about standing in the possibility, right? So Megan, I'm curious what you have to add about this because you're such a freaking master enroller.
Well, I would just say that the piece about the money objection is often one of the most uncomfortable areas, one of the most sticky places. And we're taught that, oh, if someone says they can't afford it, or they're just, you know, like you said, complaining about, oh, my car and this problem and all that, then we're supposed to believe them. And I think part of enrollment mastery is not believing those stories, but really believing in this higher vision that you see for them, because they're stuck down in there. Like you said, they're down in the pit at the bottom of the well. And are you going to go climb down in there with them? Is that what it feels like energetically? Or are you going to stay up and say, oh, I hear that it feels challenging for you right now, but actually let the conversation start when they say they can't afford it, rather than having that be the thing that ends it. So
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I need for you to get curious about if you feel like that's coming up for you a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Let's take a couple more shares and then we'll go through a couple more objections. Tracy.
Thanks. I get hung up in the grow conversation at the end when I've explained the investment options, and then there's this sort of like, you know, I try to get into the objections with them, but there's sort of this, well, I'm just going to go figure out my finances and then I'll get back to you in like a week or two. This vague thing keeps happening. You know, I try to say, like, let's have a follow-up call, and that never happens. So I'm doing something wrong there.
Yeah. So first of all, don't beat yourself up. That, especially in your field, I think people probably have, they have a story in their heads about what you're going to charge them. You know, Tracy's in the medical field, and so people are used to paying per session, and you're now charging package rates. Mm-hmm. So what I would also recommend for all of you guys is to warn people, like set some context at the beginning of your sessions regarding how you work. Does that make sense? So you can pepper it into the first 15 or 20 minutes of your session, where you can say things like, so I work a little differently than other mentors. I work with people for 6 months, or I work with people for 12 months. You know, in the conversation, you can start warming people up to what the work you do is like. And this is why my clients tend to have some pretty incredible results, right? And then you could mention briefly a result that you create. I think that's going to be particularly helpful for you, Tracy, even if at the very beginning of the W part of the conversation, even if at the very beginning of wrapping up the conversation and kind of when you're getting to make your offer, you know, you took a deep breath and said, so let me just orient you a little bit to how I work. It's going to be a little bit different than other practitioners you might have worked with. And that's one of the reasons why people come to me, because we provide something different here. We get people a deeper level, a more lasting level of result and change. And that way people are starting to like acclimatize already before you even say the dollar amount. And then when you do have people and ha and do their thing around the money objection, that's where you have a chance to really, like Megan's saying, get very grounded in yourself and say, before we make a decision about what's next, let me just kind of explain how this process works when you're working with me. You know, so the way it works is that you can absolutely think about it, right? If people are needing time to think about it, you can absolutely think about it. And that being said, I do, you know, however you guys want to say this, but I do provide what I call a quick decision bonus, right? And explain calmly that when they're able to make a decision, you know, within the next couple of days, you're able to waive a down payment, because it saves me a lot of time, it saves you a lot of time. And I'll be honest, the concerns that you've come to me with are definitely the exact, you know, it's the exact genius that I have. What you're walking through is the exact thing I like to help people with. So I'm here to just reassure you, you are in the right place. I understand this is a different kind of an investment. I don't take the investment lightly, and I'm very confident I can help you, right? to really bring it back around to what they're walking through, what they want, reiterate it in their words, put their big why back in front of them, and let them know, I'm confident I can help you with this. This is my zone of genius. This is why I do what I do, right? Tracy, it was so good to have you. Tracy just launched her podcast, and she actually got to be in my home with me in Santa Cruz a couple weeks ago. Let's give her a kiss for that. Mwah. I've had so much support and love from the Leverage community in the last couple weeks. Sophia interviewed me yesterday for our launch on her Temple Body Sisterhood page. If you guys want to go check that interview, she did an amazing job. Kiss for Sophia. Mwah. Thank you, Sophia. Let's hear from Christina Peters. What do you got, Christina? And was that helpful, Tracy? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi there. Happy New Year. You guys hear me okay?
Hi, Christina. Yes.
Hi. So there's a couple of hangups that I'm on. When I did several calls in this one particular week, the sessions to enroll them or whatever, 3 of the 6 people had literally just signed up for coaching with another person that week. And he actually told them he could teach them what I'm teaching them. He doesn't even, my program isn't even like public. So that threw me. And 3 people told me that. And it's like, okay. So they just signed up for coaching. And I'm, telling them, well, you can need to coach with me, blah, 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 whatever. So that didn't go over so well. And I was just thrown by that, and I didn't know how to respond to that. So they had already committed. They'd already given this guy like $2,600 for coaching. And so I didn't know. So I just was like, okay, well, that sounds great. It sounds like you found a coach, and, you're still in my, they're blog readers or in my Facebook groups or whatever. So just say, I'm here to help you in however way I can, and moving on from there. So so they already signed up for coaching at that point with somebody else, but they're still doing a discovery session with me.
So it's a little weird that all 3 of these folks had been exposed to the same person in that short amount of time?
At that same time, because he was launching his thing that week as well.
And so all 3 of them, and what you guys are launching is very similar?
He's doing photography business.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I've had weeks where I've hopped on the phone with several people in a row and they're all a no for some similar reason. I've had weeks where I've hopped on the phone with people and they all just jumped into Christian Michelson's program or whoever, one of my niche mates, and it feels like a blow.
Right.
It feels like a blow from the universe. And, what I always come to in my heart is the universe is giving me an opportunity to make my commitment even bigger. It's almost like a little bit of a universal joke, like, ha, ha, ha. Yes, I'm willing to get on a 4th phone call. Yes, I'm willing to talk to a 5th person. There are people out there that haven't hired this other person, and I'm going to find them, right? It's like, can you make your commitment bigger? Because you will find people who haven't hired somebody else, right? And Christina, I'm curious for you, is there a bigger aspect of the grow conversation in general that stumps you up? Because I promise you, if you keep going, you will find your people.
Yeah. The ones that I didn't enroll, there was always the response was, I have to talk to my husband. And I know we talked about this before. So then I had talked, I think with Megan, maybe I talked with you about this on a call like this. And so what I thought I could do was ask to see if I could have another call with a husband, in that conversation. And had
you already coached that person that you were talking to on the dynamic between her and her husband and what was actually going on there? What was the dynamic between them?
The first few, no, that was before Megan, and then after Megan. So after Megan, I asked, I basically said, so, tell me about how your husband is supporting you with your photography and what you would like to do, and does he understand this is your passion and you want to do this? And oh yeah, he's totally into that. So then I said, great, he hasn't heard our conversation today, so he's probably just going to hear you're asking for money.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know if that's like the right thing to say.
Well, it's good. And I would add, and you guys, if you look a little further down on your sheet, you'll see the spouse objection. Ultimately, when you really look at the heart of it, there's some trust stuff there. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not respectful to go check in with your partner and make sure that they're aligned with you making a big investment. That's just respectful, right? When you have merged finances, there's lots of instances where that's just the right thing to do. Yes, go check in with your partner. I'm just curious, how is that going to be for you? Is he or she, are they supportive? That was the perfect first question, Christina. Are they supportive? How's that going to go? Okay. Are you willing to chat about that? And then, before, in addition to saying, does he know that this is your passion? Oh yeah. I'm curious, have you guys had a chance to sit down and talk about what's possible financially if you really get your photography business off the ground?
Cool.
Right? Mm-hmm. To really orient the person you're talking to and their partner toward the bigger outcome. Not just, is this person supporting your passion, but what's the bigger objection going to be? Is it going to be around your time? Is it going to be around your shared finances? I talked to a woman who her husband was fine with spending the money. He just didn't want her spending all the time to grow a business. And that was a whole nother conversation. So how
did you find that out? Did you?
I asked, what do you think his concern would be?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I always ask permission. I tread lightly. It's a delicate part of the conversation. Do you feel open to talking about the dynamic between you and your husband for a few minutes, just so I can understand, right? Because at this point in the conversation, we've already been chatting for 20 minutes. I'm starting to understand her dreams. I've become an advocate for her dreams. And then I'm curious, what does that look like with your husband? What does he do? How do you guys support each other? And then we're just that, once I've got permission, then that dialogue is open. And I definitely recommend that you guys, hold that deeper awareness of, excuse me, of the trust piece, because when somebody needs that person's support, there's oftentimes a deeper need for them to be supported, right? Would you add, Megan?
Yeah, this deeper need to be supported is often what's underlying. And so, like Sage was mentioning, it's not just about the passion, but understanding that, this could actually bring in more income for them as a family, understanding that whole field. And I would say that the other piece that's so important here that I'm not sure I got to last time we did this on a call was when you're in a conversation with someone who's saying, well, I have to go and talk to my partner first, say, great, of course, totally respect that, just like Sage was saying. And I'm curious if this feels like a yes for you. So getting them into their yes, because there's two very different conversations that happen when someone's going to their partner asking for permission, or what do you think I should do? Should I do this program? Like most of us, imagine you're the one that's the provider and your partner comes to you and says, hey, do you think I should do this course that would really help my passion? And it's going to be $3,000 or $4,000 or $12,000. I mean, frankly, I would say, no, probably don't think you should do that. That's not a good argument. So stop putting the onus on bad husbands, bad partners for not supporting. Really, if we put ourselves in their shoes,
yes,
why would they say yes? So you having coach them to be confident in why they're doing it. So their big why and their yes, and own it in the conversation.
Yes, exactly. How do we boost up the person we're talking to so that they can share the opportunity from a place of full empowerment? That's the goal. Clearly, if there's trust issues going on, our job is to help them trust themselves more and help them really see the outcome of where they're going. And the truth is if you're talking to somebody who doesn't have support at home, they need support more than anybody else. So be willing to get into this delicate part of the conversation with them, right? Be willing to really empower them to go to their partner and to ask from an empowered place. Like Megan said, do you want this? And how can we approach your partner from a place of really like getting on the same page with your guys' dream? Because if you're bringing in $5,000 a month with your photography business, if we've cleaned up your health issues and you're not having to, spend 6 hours a week at the doctor's office, you can actually pick the kids up what's it going to do for your partner for you to have the outcome we're providing, right?
Yeah.
How can we make this a win-win for everybody? I love it. Kiss for Christina. Mwah. So good to see you, Christina. We were going to do a short coaching piece with somebody who gets hung up in the I can't afford it part of the conversation. Let's do one more of those. Just show me your hand, stick your hand in the air and wave if it has to do with the money piece. Jennifer, what do you got? Megan and I will coach you on that. There you go.
Hi, thanks you guys. Yeah, so I'm getting hung up in that place at the end of the call where it's like my couples, all the ones that have loved me from the start and hired me, they still need to go talk about it in privacy. So I get that. And I almost want to have like it set up in the call where it's like, we're going to talk for 30 minutes and then I'm going to go to the bathroom for 5 and you guys can talk and then you can come to me with your, I almost want to have that built in so that,
I can address it because I'm running into this.
Yeah.
So I can address it from firsthand experience of inviting couples into a retreat. What I've started doing on the last couple sessions that they have come back and said yes, is saying, having the whole conversation, getting them through the whole grow process, and then saying, great, so I'd love for you to just talk about, really get vulnerable with each other about what you would really want to get out of this experience. So in your case, what would they want to get out of having you as the officiant for their wedding and to create this whole experience and really come together in this decision, because this is this first big decision that you're making together, setting the foundation for your marriage. And then we'll hop back on a call. So I could pick this up again with you in 15 minutes, half an hour, like whatever that window is. So you're making your schedule available to be able to do that. Now I've definitely run into people saying like, oh, well, I actually have another appointment. Great. Well, what time works? 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Keep it in the same day. Keep it in that tight container. When they try to push it to a different day, that's where things go wonky. So
yeah. And I want to add that you can, even with couples, this is a great thing to do from the very beginning. So the way it works when we decide whether it's a fit to work together, or the way it works when you'd like to take advantage of these conversations, is it's a 2-part conversation.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do I set that up when I do the call? Like, hey, we're going to have a 2-part conversation.
Yeah.
First part is going to be, I'm going to let you know how we work, what's possible. I'll get to know you. Second part is you guys discuss if I might be the right person for you. And then we get back on and like.
And I would even make it more than, and you guys can all do this, in a 2-part conversation, and there's an example of this in your handout. In a two-part enrollment conversation is very feminine. It's a beautiful way to do these conversations. You guys can make it bigger than just take the time to decide whether I'm the one or not. It's actually a time to decide if you want this outcome or not, right? So step 1 is, let's talk about where you're actually going. Let's talk about what it's going to require to get there. And then we're going to take a break for 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours. And in that day or 2 days, I'm going to give you a set of reflection questions so that you can really sit with the commitment, the challenges, the dream. Ask them grow-related questions. Create a little 4 or 5-step process. And then we'll get back together and we'll see if it's a fit. for you and I to do more work together. And I will ask that you make a decision in that second conversation, right? Do you have anything to add, Megan, about two-step?
Just giving them assignment is a very important piece. So they're clear on what are they doing when they step away to talk about it, that they're not just talking about money together, like that they're actually talking about what they really want, what their intentions are. And so giving them a clear assignment, that really helps for sure. Yeah. Right. And I would say the tighter the time you can keep it, the better. I have also, in this case, I've started making myself available by when it's a same day decision, or they have things because they're looking at, in my case, it's a retreat and there's like other questions about like travel and stuff that might come up. I've just said, you can text me between now and then, and I can get back to you with those questions, so that then they can keep being in conversation about those little roadblocks. So then when they get back on, they're solid. And I've found the last two couples paid in full doing it that way, by just me keeping engaged with them throughout the day.
It's actually, remember that connection equals currency.
Yeah.
And so when you open yourself up and give people a way to stay connected to you, there's an automatic safety that they start to feel. And they start to feel like, oh, this is what it would be like if I actually had this person as a coach. People hire us partly because they need to be connected with somebody who actually believes in the outcome they want, right? And so, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to do.
Great.
Yeah, let us know how it's going with the 2 steps. I think that's going to be a great strategy for you. Kiss for Jennifer.
Do I tell them that ahead of time? I tell them that ahead of time, like not on the first call. Do I tell them that?
You can do it either way.
Okay.
You can say, we're going to schedule your first call, and usually people need, usually this is a 2-part process. Let's schedule your first call, and then I'll talk about what the follow-up looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the reason that that's good to do it that way, Jennifer, is because if you decide you don't want to work with those people, then you don't have to have a second conversation, because that's very real too. I mean, you might be like, whoa, these people are not, like, that's not going to work. Or,
Right. So like usually it might be a 2-part process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Kiss for Jennifer. Mwah. Beautiful. I want to also just really orient you toward the resources here. Some of this is review for you guys, but remember, the hottest way to address the money objection, number 1 way every single time, is to get people in touch with their indulgent why, right? Number 1 way. I heard you say you want this. I heard you light up when you talked about this. I heard you claim that this is the year that this is going to happen for you. I would be honored to help you get there. I'd hate to have money get in the way. Let's talk about how to get creative, right? Again, we've gone through all the different ways to dance with these objections. We have like 8 salespeople who are taking sales calls at Women Rocking Business. We track what works. We track what doesn't work. This is a number 1 way. So do not forget, for the love of the goddess, to write down what they want the most. Circle it and highlight it in your notes in their words. Do not forget to repeat it back to them. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? This is good stuff. It is not our job to convince people. It is not our job to educate people about why they need us. It is our job to give them what they say they want. Write that down. Our job is in an enrollment conversation is to give them what they say they want. If you can help them get the thing that they say they want, it's your job to reassure them that you can help them get that thing and feed it back to them in their words. Okay, it's like gold. Then these questions can come in really handy. I hear that money is an issue. I'm just curious, if you did have the money, would it be a yes? That helps you get really clear, because some people will come back and go, oh, well, I'm pretty nervous about the time that it's going to take to do this. Or there might be another objection, right? So be sure when you're in that money part of the conversation, be sure to nail it down. Is it really about the money? And if you were going to do this, I'm curious, what would you need to get out of it to make it worth an investment like this? Really powerful question. because now that person is going to go back and that person is going to let you know all of the things they need to get out of your program to make it worth an investment, like what you're asking. And then your opportunity is right then, write this down, to reassure them. Your job in this part of the conversation is reassurance. Don't be afraid to reassure, reassure, reassure. I believe I can get you there. I think we can do incredible work together. If you want this, I am all in. Okay? These are the kinds of commitment. This is the kind of commitment languaging I invite you to practice. Practice with your board of directors if you are not as confident at this part. Practice your prices. Practice sharing your rate. Practice not talking after you have shared your rate, right? Let the rate land and see what they bring back to the table, okay? There's some great tips in here about following up. Megan and I have both had the situation where we've had to follow up with people 3 or 4 or 5 times before they're ready to put their credit card down. But when you know they want it, it's worth the extra touch points to follow up. Okay, it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. I want to actually take a break before we talk about Bring a Friend. And I'd like to talk a little bit about how to have the best year ever. So take a breath, give it a little shaky shake, give it a little shaky shake, move your body a little bit. All right. I'd like to talk for a moment about this handout. Switch over to this handout for a few minutes and talk about getting you on track in the new year to plan out the first quarter of your new year. What are you doing? Are you speaking? Are you doing a Facebook challenge? What are you doing to get clients? And Megan, do you want to just say a few things about short-term versus long-term? I know when you were a client just a few years ago, you started to really sort through the different strategies and you put together a really beautiful mixture of the short-term strategies and the long-term strategies.
Yeah, so the short-term strategies are more your discovery sessions and speaking engagements and networking and getting referrals from people who you've worked with before. A group program also can be a short-term strategy because you're filling it up for now. It gives you the financial runway while you're planning other things. And then some social media action as well, short-term strategies. I'll go into it in more depth, but long-term strategies are more of your website, the list building, like having a summit and then building your list from that, nurturing it over months following the summit, blogging, podcasts, or a YouTube channel, doing more online launches, and a bigger plan for social media and running more ads and things like that. So this blend between the two is important because when you're only focused on the short term, you're not able to look at this bigger vision of where you're headed and what you're wanting to create down the line. And if you focus on doing long-term strategies, like I know many of you are excited to focus on a podcast or growing your list, or creating the website, always a favorite, to work on those pieces, and you don't have a way to actually generate money right now, then you run the risk of burning out before you even get started. So short-term strategies, think about it as things that can help you make money right now. If you needed to get a client tomorrow, what are the strategies that you could do to get another discovery session on the books, teach a signature talk, get in front of some people, even if it's just a handful of people. When you get in front of a few people, even 3 or 4 people, you're likely to get 1 or 2 discovery sessions from that and potentially a paying client. So those kind of strategies can turn around and happen, even a week or 2 from now. It can be that fast for you to be able to get someone that way, rather than thinking about a huge launch, online launch, or building up the podcast. And having launched my own podcast and then seeing clients coming in through that avenue, knowing that at this point, I think it's been about 9 I think it's 9 months or so, 8 or 9 months that I've had it, and I'm really seeing traction start to pick up. But my plan with it was really to have a full year before I was expecting to be generating from it. So think about this bigger vision of what you're wanting to create, but don't put all your eggs in that basket of thinking, if this doesn't work right now, if I don't, launch it and immediately get clients, then I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. What are you doing right now in the short-term strategies to be able to make a go of it?
And there's a certain level of sophistication here, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want my business to look like this year? What do I want my business to look like in the long run? And what's my need immediately, right? What's my need in the next 3 months? How do I keep an eye on my short-term cash flow? And not all of you need to, but some of you do. How do I keep an eye on my short-term cash flow and keep my business moving toward the more leveraged, built-out business that I'm really wanting to grow into? So let's talk about this for just a few minutes, because I know for some of you, raise your hand if this has been a thing. Like, you feel yourself stretched out between immediate needs and long-term business vision, right? Stuff comes up for you around this. Next week, we're going to be revisiting the levels of business. What level are you at? What are the different pieces you may need to put into place just to get level 1 and level 2 built out? And how do you keep money coming in the short term as well? So let's see. Ellen had her hand up, I think. What was your question, sweetheart, did you have a question around this, short-term, long-term strategies?
It was more, can you hear me?
Yeah.
It was more about re-enrollment.
Oh, okay.
Is that appropriate?
Let's loop back around to that if we have time, and post your question on Facebook if we don't get to it. I want to make sure we start thinking for a few minutes about, I'm going to invite each and every one of you to set a goal on the call while you're with us today, something that will pull you forward. And it could just be that you're committing to a goal you've already set, another commitment, another public commitment. Some of you need to be a little bit more realistic with yourself. Raise your hand if this is true for you. You're like, I'm going to go out and get 10 clients in the next 2 months. And then 2 months have gone by and maybe you've gotten 2, or maybe you haven't done much. And then you're beating yourself up and you're losing faith in yourself. So take a breath into that. Let's have this be the moment. It's a new year, right? We like to leverage the energy, this potent, powerful energy of the wild bronco of 2020. Actually, let's just claim that it's a calm, chill, warm river. But let's harness the new year energy and literally say, no more beating myself up, not making myself wrong, but what can I actually do in the short term that I feel aligned with? Right? That I can confidently go out and go after. How about Lucy? Is your hand up with business planning questions?
Yes. And thank you for this topic but first off, I get a little frustrated when you pull up a resource and I don't know where to find that. So then I start trying to find it. So then I'm not listening to you.
It's always a handout, which are always posted in your forum 24 hours. Always, always, always. So I'm so sorry about that. And
my forum.
It's always a handout in the current tile that we're on. And this month's tile is New Year.
Okay.
Yep.
So that
right.
helps. I'm like,
and
there's like 1,000 handouts. Where the heck is that?
And if
I need that.
And that's why we ask you, and that's why one of the things that we recommend you guys all do is pull up the handouts before the call.
Got it.
And have those in front of you, so you have the 4 or 5 handouts for that call kind of pulled up. Yeah, you're welcome. And if it's just so you guys know, if I'm ever pulling something up that's not this month's handout, I will make it very clear so you know where to go.
Great.
And I'm just pulling this up so everyone can see what we're talking about is in your members area under leverage classes. Then we have the tile for the month. Right now it's New Year Biz Planning. And then you click on that tile and you have all the calls for the month with your Zoom links and all the handouts. And it's all in that one box.
Thank you. Okay, so this topic is very applicable because I've been putting so much energy, first off, into my podcast. And like like so much juice, so much thinking. I sometimes worry now because I'm almost at 10,000 downloads that people are feeling like, oh, I get what I need from Lucy, so I don't need to hire her. So I'm trying to keep that big picture strategy that this is, I don't see I'm not going to take time to look at the handout, but it's in my big picture strategy to become more visible. And so all that juice, so I need more one-on-one coaching clients right now. And so that confidence level, because I haven't booked any, is low. And, you know, and I've got my online program that I'm
Yeah, I feel you've got a lot of moving parts, Lucy.
It's like I do need some new money coming in.
Yes.
And I'm working on the strategies, short-term, long-term.
Right. So I have a question for you, Lucy. So
really, really briefly, I'm just going to popcorn in here since we're starting to wrap up the call in a few minutes. I want to make sure that as you guys are thinking short-term, long-term, that the intention today is that you walk away from this call with one short-term goal and one long-term goal. And I just updated the Facebook sticker. And as we give Lucy coaching, be sure to listen to her coaching because much of it's going to be applicable to you. As we give Lucy coaching, you can also head over to the Leverage Facebook group and let us know what might be a short-term goal, what might be a long-term goal. A short-term goal can sound like, I need to do a speaking gig this month. I'm hoping that speaking gig could bring in 2 clients. Long-term goal is to keep building up my Facebook group so that I can set myself up for a spring Facebook challenge, right? So what's your short-term? What's your long-term? You can break them down into bronze, silver, and gold so that you're not always setting yourself up for these big numbers that you're not reaching. And then Lucy, we're gonna swing it back around to you, sweetheart, because we're right here with you.
Thank you.
So for considering their podcast as part of a long-term goal, technically, and you're meeting clients right now, my question for you is, on your podcast, are you seeding the benefits of working with you?
Yes.
Personally, one-on-one, right? And are you offering discovery sessions?
Yes.
On that. Okay.
And 0.
So no one's coming in from the offerings. And do you have a Facebook group growing from your podcast?
Yes. Well, not from the podcast, but I have a Facebook group with about 400 people.
Okay.
And I have a page, and I've analyzed whether to do a separate podcast Facebook group or not. And word on the street was better to keep growing my private group instead of a separate one.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be a separate one. Just meaning that you're inviting people into a group and saying what's happening and the trainings that are happening in the group on Facebook. So you're starting to collect more of those names and the social media following related to the podcast.
Right.
And definitely continuing to seed for sessions and for why. And one of the things that can happen on a podcast is if you give too much content, just like on a Facebook Live, for those of you who are doing it that way, or a YouTube video, if you're giving away all of your content, or even in a signature talk, rather than seeding for what are people needing, getting to talk about more of the problem, where they're struggling, and then talk about some of the tools that you have to support them and how it would be great to hop into a one-on-one session with you, that you're opening up a few spots in your calendar, 5 spots in your calendar this month. Claim one of those spots right now.
Yeah, I love that. Lucy, real quick, what's the name of your podcast and what's the name of your discovery session?
The Profitable Photographer with Lucy Dumas.
Yep, I remember that.
And Create the Business of Your Dreams strategy session.
Cool. Yeah, I love what Megan's saying. And I definitely recommend linking your Facebook group to your podcast and having things going on in your group that you talk about during the podcast. One thing that's working really well in podcasting these days is gamifying your podcast in the same way that we teach you guys to gamify a Facebook challenge, where you can actually For those of you that are going to be listening to the next 3 episodes of my podcast, all we ask you to do is, put the answer to these 3 questions over in the group, and I'll be, choosing one to win a blah, blah, blah. Because it's an excuse to give and to get engagement and to have people go post in the, Profitable Photographers community over on Facebook. And you're consistently referencing that that's where the community hangs out, right? And then I would also consider a shorter name for your discovery session, something short and sweet and punchy that you could create a little commercial out of and play in your podcast, or just say it in your podcast. And I would maybe like a profit breakthrough session. This is a free consultation for photographers who want to be making more money and creating a better living with your photography, creating a great living, making a big difference, creating sustainable recurring revenue. I've opened up just a few spots on my calendar to sit down and gift you what I call a profit breakthrough session, right? And get you at least one individualized tool to create more money with your photography this month. And we'll see if it's a fit to do more work together, and then keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know how to sign up.
Okay. Meanwhile, outside of the realm of podcasts is where I'm feeling drained and insecure. But I don't know if I know how to not share on the podcast lots of good information. I don't want to make it a big commercial.
Well, yeah. I mean, have you guys listened to any of my Facebook challenge videos? Like, please do, because it's a really good template for what it looks like to do about 60 or 70% content and about 30 or 40% enrollment. Because that's what we've got to have you guys doing. You guys can't just get out there and give 100% content all the time, because nobody's going to step toward you, right? So they're live. They're there right now. They're all in the sisterhood group. Just, head over to there's a replay page. It's all super easy. And you guys will imprint on how we do that, because what I do here in these calls is much different than what I do in those videos. Because here in these calls, it's coaching for you guys. But I definitely really want to put a stake in the ground for you guys imprinting on the sort of 70-30 concept of giving 70%, enrolling 30%, because you guys are worth it. You can only do so much good with people when they're just consuming free content. And then Lucy, by the way, I think you're freaking authentic and real and compelling and awesome. And when you talk, I want to listen to you. So I don't know why you wouldn't start doing some talks in your local community, at the local bookstore, at the local community center, the Profitable Photographer, 3 Steps to a Profitable Photography Business. Get some photographers showing up in your community or in surrounding communities, and pop a couple of clients, because again, like Megan is saying, those local speaking gigs could literally turn your financial situation around by $10,000 overnight. We've seen it happen over and over and over again.
So surrendering to the whole, my first reaction is, I've spent so many hours just trying to get my lead magnet done and the visual and all of that. Now I'm going to be posting that, and it's all free, and it's been like all consuming. And now I'm going to throw in this. Now I'm also going to try to get speaking gigs and my nose up. And
Lucy, sweetheart, can I be honest with you?
Yeah. Yes.
That whole voice in your head that you're replaying to me right now.
Yes.
It's not who you really are.
I know. That's just why I wanted to say it out loud.
So our request is that you all take a deep breath, bring your inner leaders to this call as much as you can, and you have choices ahead of you. You have choices ahead of you. I promise you, if you keep going, the hours you've put into your lead magnets, the hours you've put into your Facebook groups for every single one of you, the hours you've put into your platform building for Lucy, it looks like a podcast. I promise every single one of you, if you keep going, those hours are going to keep working for you again and again and again. And we've got to take care of ourselves in the short term. And that's why we're doing this call. You know, it's why we do this call in the new year, to kind of gather up the kittens. By the way, I got kittens for Christmas. I'll give you those pictures. But right, it's like, okay, let's gather the kittens, but let's gather the energy for every single one of us. And let's just assess, what do we need in the short term? What do we need in the long term? So Lucy, what would be a good short-term goal for you?
Short-term goal is to book 4 new one-on-one coaching clients.
I love it. I love it. You going to do a speaking gig this month?
No, I'm going to be, this month is almost over and I'll be traveling. So I have to think about, I'm still surrendering to the speaking thing.
I think you're going to be great. Who's your coach?
It's the doing it.
Deborah? Shayna.
Shayna.
Talk to Shayna about it. If you guys don't have coaching sessions booked with your coaches this month, please, for the love of the goddess, go book a session with your coaches this month. Yeah. We are putting a fire under each of you right now. Lucy, think about it for early February. Think about going live into your group, maybe a live with a quick tip, a live video with a quick tip and an offer for that profit breakthrough session. It could be a New Year profit breakthrough session. That's a super hot idea for you. I'm opening up New Year profit breakthrough sessions for photographers, and then you just stand in the fire with them because you're a badass, okay?
Okay.
All right, give her a kiss.
Thank you.
All right, those of you who coach incredible, big, strong beings in your programs, I hope you're taking notes. All right, Lucy is a force to be reckoned with, a gorgeous force to be reckoned with, as are every single one of you. Okay, so I am heading over to the Facebook group and I am wanting to acknowledge Kia, short-term goal, enrolling people into a 3-day event at the end of the month. Wahoo for Kia. Deanna, short-term goal, 3 new one-on-one clients in January. Rachel Cooley, short-term goal, 2 more signature talks. Yay. Sarah Coolidge, short-term discovery sessions this month. How many discovery sessions, Sarah? Long-term. Oh, fill out your year-long program, your different levels. Love it. Kate Duffy, short-term goal, launch your 12-week course. Kate, that does not sound like a short-term goal unless you already have people in it. You already have people in it? I think you do. Are you here still? Can you guys hear me?
It's short term because it's already launching.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's already launching. Got it. All right. I won't get on your case too much.
The focus at the moment.
Okay. Raise your hand if you know you are having your butt busted a little bit on this call around short-term strategies. Raise your hand if you know you need to continue to put into place short-term strategies. All right. Kiss for every single one of you. Lucy, did your hand go up? I got my eye on you, cutie pie. All right, there's your hand. And as you guys support each other around these short-term goals, I want to just really remind you, give me an uh-huh if you agree. Unmute yourself and give me an uh-huh if you agree with this. Short-term goals can be the ones that we procrastinate on the most.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're not admitting procrastination on that, you're going to let me know later, right? I'm just teasing you. The reason I say that to you is because this is where your board of directors comes in really handy. Raise your hand if you would, raise your hand if you already have a board of directors meeting on the calendar this month. Raise your hand if you need to get on it and make sure your board is going to meet. Okay, raise your hand if you'd be willing to be even more vulnerable and even more to the point and like, let's make this stuff happen this year with your board of directors. Lean into your board of directors this year in a bigger way. Yeah, because as your board of directors, you guys can do phenomenal things this year. And please, 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 when your fellow board of directors sister says to you, I'm going to book a signature talk, I need to do that signature talk, I need to follow up with those 2 clients that were thinking about hiring me, please help her set up accountability systems. Are you with me? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Don't let each other down on this one. This is where the results start to pop and we can really start to do amazing things together. So that being said, we have one more contest to launch today. Many of you have played in Bring a Friend before. Many of you have had a blast inviting friends to Women Rocking Business Live. I'd love to hear from one of you who has played. I'd love to hear, gosh, maybe from Dr. Kelly or Rachel or Elizabeth or who else has played? Like, why did you play? What? Maybe Jill, maybe Kia, maybe Sarah, maybe Junie, maybe Angela. Like, what was it like inviting your friends to Women Rocking Business Live? Because what we're about ready to do is we're about ready to launch a super fun contest where you guys can actually earn money and get some amazing prizes for inviting your friends to Women Rocking Business Live. And we're going to gift each of you 12 tickets to give out to your friends on a first come, first serve basis. Because I'll be honest with you guys, like, there's a ton of things we can do to fill Women Rocking Business Live. Our March event, write this down, it's March 17th through the 19th in Santa Cruz, California. I hope every single one of you will prioritize being there. There's gonna be about 40% new content this year. And we can do a lot of things to fill that event. It always sells out. We already have about 120 people booked already, and we haven't even publicly opened up doors. That means we're 25% sold out already, and we're gonna launch this week. But I'll be honest, out of all the things we can do to fill the event, I'd rather have your friends there. That's just straight up, because I know the more people who you know who are building businesses alongside you, the more chance you have of being successful. There's no, excuse me. Excuse me. There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. Sarah, did you want to say a few things about playing?
Yeah, I'd love to say a whole pile of things about playing, but you'll probably cut me off at some point. The Bring a Friend thing really, really energized me, and there was a whole lot of growth that happened as a result of it, including, you know, I had some friends come, I was successful in the contest, and then I began to see that these are my people. We can do something together before we even show up at Women Rocking Business. They're seeing me as their den mother, bringing them in. Let's do some other stuff. There was a whole lot of other stuff that came out of it around networking, which is something I've done piles of, that we shared in ELA together about how to like rock Women Rocking Business for ourselves. I mean, it's really easy to ask your friends to come to this really cool thing that has changed my life. Much easier than saying, give me a bunch of money and let me change your life. and I mean, you know all this already, but I mean, I have, you know, when you said save the date, I told some people because
yay.
Yeah,
Good.
no, I think it's a great contest and I had a ton of fun and I have lots to share about it. I won't go on and on, but if anybody wants to talk to me about it, I've got some tips.
Awesome. I'll have a couple of you guys share tips at the end of the call, and anybody that wants to stay on can hear those, and we'll share a few more next week too. Kiss for Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for playing. Thank you for trusting us with your friends. So let me just explain the contest really briefly. You guys can head over to sagelevine.com/BAF for Bring a Friend, or womenrockingbusiness.com/BAF. And there's a little ugly video, not ugly, it's a beautiful, totally unprofessional video of me here explaining Bring a Friend. But all we're doing is telling you that we're just so grateful for those of you who want to play and who trust us with your friends. And we want to thank you with some awesome prizes. So up to 3 friends, you guys will win Gold Pass coaching sessions for each of your friends, which we all know is valuable. We also are going to gift you a VIP day, a virtual VIP day with myself. I'll probably bring in Megan to help with this, where we're going to go deeper into leadership and enrollment. We're going to get really clear on what it would take to raise your rates, what it would really take to sell out your group programs. And that'll be a smaller group of people, so we'll be able to go deep with you guys and spend the day together. It's a $3,000 VIP day. It's a virtual VIP day where you're going to get a lot of individual attention. And that VIP day All you have to do to be invited to that is to bring 3 friends to Women Rocking Business Live. And so that's a way of us saying, like, every single one of you who brings 3 friends, we want to do something so awesome for you and totally make sure that you get the value back of the hours that you put in to bringing those 3 friends. We want to make sure that we get you the training that's going to allow you to go out and make like 10 times the amount of money that you would have made if you had been putting that time toward your own business, right? There's something really cool that we do at Bring a Friend, and that is that she who brings the most friends wins a free seat in Leverage. And there's a couple of women here that can talk about that because they're here because they won the Bring a Friend contest, because they brought like 12 or 15 or 17 friends into the event. The other thing that we're doing officially for the very first time, we've done this unofficially for the past year. We're making it very official. We've had great feedback from you guys that when you guys bring your friends to our events and they enroll in our programs, we're doing referral cash and credit. So when your friends sign up for year-long programs, you'll either get $250 cash, or if you want to apply the money toward the cost of next year's program, you'll get $500 credit. All right. So, when you think about it, gosh, I can't remember how many friends Junie Moon brought, or Angela, how many friends you guys brought, but you guys have paid for a considerable chunk of your program just by helping us bring awesome women into Women Rocking Business Live. And by the way, you guys can use all the marketing principles that we teach you. To play Bring a Friend, you don't have to call everybody up on the phone. You can actually do Facebook posts, and you can do all the stuff that we teach you guys to do. So all you have to do to play is to click on that link at www.womenrockingbusiness.com. Again, it's www.womenrockingbusiness.com/BAF. Super easy, /BAF. Go about halfway down the page and you'll see a really clear link that says click here to enter the game. And when you enter, you're going to get an email with all the instructions and the templates to play the game. And I also want to make a note that I'm going to be very clear, on the handout in this month's forum that's titled Enrollment and BAF, that's the title of the handout, Enrollment and BAF, short for Bring a Friend. On the last page of that handout is some great tips to win the Bring a Friend contest. If you follow these tips, you're for sure gonna bring 3 friends to the event. Like, no question, you'll find your 3 friends, and you'll get a chance to spend a whole virtual VIP day with Megan and I, up-leveling your enrollment and your leadership skills. So here's some of the tips. Be upfront. Let people know that you have an awesome business resource you'd like to tell them about. Is this a good time? Get to know them. Get to know their indulgent why, what they want in their business. I may have something that could help. I'm super excited. I actually have 12 free or 12 full scholarship tickets to this awesome Women Rocking Business Live event. Would you want one? There's just a small, totally refundable seat deposit. Here's how my experience has been. Here's how this could help you. And I even provided you guys with a Facebook post. And again, this is all on page 5 of your enrollment handout for this month's game. I think one of the things a lot of my clients have told me from playing Bring a Friend is they like having somewhere to practice enrollment where it has nothing to do with them having to show up and take care of the person. Like, they're practicing enrollment for our programs. Megan, do you have anything to add?
Well, 100%. I agree with that. When I played the game a few years ago, I brought 13 people. And
13 friends in the room because of Megan Neely.
And I got to be honest, they weren't all friends. They were people on Facebook and on my mailing list. And that's what I recommend for all of you as well, to look at, you're providing different services, or even if you're providing the same services as I was at the time, this is a place for you to be able to reach out to your community and offer them something and practice being an affiliate partner in that way. So it's another way for you to practice being an affiliate partner. And it is so much easier to have these conversations with people, with your friends, with your community who are complaining about their job or complaining about not having enough money to get to do what they want, or that they don't get the vacation time because their boss sucks. Well, now you have something that you can suggest that they come and take part in so that they can stop complaining and start making the changes that they want for this new year.
All right, ready, set, go. Bring a Friend contest is launched. You have 1 month. Bring a Friend contest lasts 1 month. So you have 30 days to get your friends registered. Raise your hand if you're going to play. Yay, I can't wait to meet your friends. I would say head over and register right now while you're thinking about it. Just click on that link, and I'll put the link in your Facebook group so you can get the emails and shoot out some emails in the next couple days. Get on the phone. Don't be afraid to get on the phone and leave messages. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for an awesome first call. Sarah and Jill, if you have a moment to stay on the call for a few minutes, Rachel Cooley maybe, and just share your hottest Bring a Friend tip for anybody that wants to play, that'd be amazing. And yeah, we're just stoked for such an incredible new year with every single one of you. And I want to congratulate you on setting both short-term and long-term goals. But remember, Bring a Friend tips are kind of like enrollment tips that support you in your business and in the Bring a Friend contest. Sarah, what would you say is your hottest one?
Invite everybody you know. This is actually my list from last year because I've actually been looking at it. And yeah, I mean, look at your phone. Who do you know? You know 1 million people. Look at your Facebook thing. You know 1 million people. Don't just be thinking that you only know 5. You know a lot, and a lot of them are growing businesses, and a lot of them might come. So ask them all.
Well, at least one of you is going to end up with a free seat in Leverage. It's going to be pretty sweet. It might be you, Sarah. We'll just see what happens. Who else has a hot tip? I love that, Sarah.
What about you, Jill?
You guys are kind of popular. Yeah, Jill.
Last time. I was almost there, but Sarah beat me last time. I think one of my big tips is be vulnerable. It's actually working now with helping with Robin's event, because just kind of think about what you got out of going to Women Rocking Business Live. And if you can add that to your email and just kind of talk about, you know, how it made a difference to you. And I invited everybody. I invited through Facebook, and then I sent personal emails, and then I called my friends. And so, yeah, just kind of think of anybody that might benefit. They don't have to be a business owner.
Yeah. And call them up on the phone, you know, leave them a message, leave them a voice text. Like, that's really a huge thing. Jill, how many people did you have in the room last year?
11. Oh, in the room. 11, I think.
11. I think you had 11. Kiss for Jill and Sarah.
In there. And they get to see what you do. It's so cool.
Oh, I can't wait to meet your friends this year. Jennifer, what do you got? You guys have any questions about Bring a Friend? It's actually what's really cool. I see this every time, you guys. People that play Bring a Friend, their businesses grow as well. Because I know I didn't want to play Bring a Friend, I'll be honest. I did not want to play Bring a Friend when I had my first coach launched Bring a Friend. It was actually Kendall Summerhawk that I was coaching with years ago that I was exposed to this for the very first time. And I didn't want to play. I was kind of like, she's using me to recruit clients. I was like all resistant about it. And then I realized that all of that resistance was holding me back in my business. Same freaking resistance. Same story I was telling myself. So I committed to playing. And in playing, I almost felt like I was on her coattails for about 3 weeks. I was inviting people using all her systems. And then I was also talking to some of my own potential clients. And this is what I see happen every year. The people that play Bring a Friend, their business grows too. It's super fun. What were you going to say, Jennifer?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. So you said there's like 40% new content.
Yeah.
So can you just tell us like the top hot 3 things we're going to walk away from so we can get excited, and then we can tell our friends, oh my God, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. And so the whole breakdown of the Women Rocking Business Live event is in the materials that you'll get as soon as you sign up.
Yeah.
But just remember, day 1 is all about message. So get your message, get clear on your message, confidence on your message. You'll never be this clear on your message. Day 2 is all about money breakthrough, raise your rates, make more money, package your programs for wealth. Day 3 is about marketing. 3, you learn the 3 launch plans. You learn to market yourself, learn to build your online platform. And I'm always bringing in new hacks for online platform building and new speakers. So message, money, marketing, and all the information about what you'll get in the event is all in your, it's all in your materials. And you can show them the website for the event. The website for the event is live. It's up. It's at, I think, let me see if I can find it. And the website in and of itself is really convincing. So in some ways, all you really have to do is link people to the website. It's pretty cool. In fact, we've made it easier than ever to play Bring a Friend, and we've done this really intentionally because when you guys get your Bring a Friend links, you'll have links. The link goes straight to this page. So people will see this is a full scholarship event, limited seating, they get the video. These numbers are going to be updated today probably. Here's what it's about, day 1, day 2, day 3, here's what you learn, pictures, oh my gosh, look at all these amazing speakers, blah, 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 right? So really it's not a lot of heavy lifting on your part. All you have to do is let people know, full scholarship ticket, awesome business event, get them there and let us do the heavy lifting. Let us sell them on it. You can just introduce them to it. I'm excited to meet your friends, Jennifer. Thanks. Kiss. Mwah. All right. Any other quick tips, questions? Rachel, did you want to popcorn in as we're wrapping up?
Hey there. I would say be heartfelt and authentic and so excited to share about the event and your enthusiasm about them coming and joining you in this life-changing event.
It was sweet to have your friends there last year, Rachel. I've actually had women come to me and say, Sage, I want to play Bring a Friend, but I don't want to have like 7 people in the room that I have to take care of because I just want to hang out with my Women Rocking Business sisters. Raise your hand if any of you have ever felt that way. Okay, so I'm here to tell you, when you get there, you do not have to take care of them. We will take care of them. You guys know, as soon as they get there, they're going to be one of the sisterhood. And, you can just plan to have lunch with them the second day, plan like a meal with them. And that way you can be freed up to have more than enough time with your Women Rocking Business sisters. Don't worry, you'll get time for everybody. But I remember you there last year with your friends, Rachel. It was sweet to meet your friends. Christina, did you have a quick question?
I do, thank you. So as you know, my peeps are photographers.
Yeah.
And many of them don't want to teach. They don't want to coach. They're deathly shy, like about that whole thing. But I know they'll get so much going out of it. Yeah. How do you suggest I talk to them and enroll them into, because I've talked to a few of them about it so far, and like, isn't that a coaching program? I don't want to do that. So I'm like, well, like, yeah.
It's interesting, right? And I want to say this to every single one of you guys. Don't overthink it too much with your potential clients or with potential enrollees for our programs. Don't overthink it too much, because here's the thing. I have people walk into Women Rocking Business Live every single year, and they walk in not even knowing what they want to do. Some of you were those people. Some of you looked at me at that event and you're like, I came here, I didn't even know what I was walking into. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. And now I'm clear, I want to do this. This is the best idea I've had in 5 years. So it's like, some people come to that event. Some of your friends are going to come to that event. They're going to get everything they can out of the 3 days. And they're going to leave, and I'm never going to see them again. And that's awesome. It's perfect. I'm so proud that I get to make a difference for every single woman that walks into that event, whether she continues on with us or not. Does that make sense? So your job is to just say, hey, this is an awesome resource. I have full scholarship tickets. There's hardly any way. Like this year, we're locking down on full scholarship tickets. The website that's open to the public, it's paid tickets. You guys have full scholarship tickets to give your friends because you're our clients. And they can decide for themselves when they come. Is this something that I might actually want to step into, even though I might be shy and introverted, or am I just going to get what I can and leave? No worries either way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss for Christina. I would love to meet your photographer friends. Last question, Sherry. Hi, sweetheart.
It wasn't
There you
about
are. I
this.
can hear you. Start again.
I said my question was actually way back in the beginning of the
Oh,
training.
no worries.
It wasn't for this.
Okay, post it on Facebook. We'll definitely get it answered there. Kiss for Sherry. Mwah.
Thank you.
All right, beauties. Let's give a wahoo for 2020, a wahoo for your short-term goals and your long-term goals, a wahoo for all the clients that are waiting for you, a wahoo for playing Bring a Friend and using the momentum of enrollment to just keep doing your own enrollment conversations too. Unmute yourselves. Big wahoo. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Megan. You are amazing. 2020 is going to rock this world for us. Every single one of you has what it takes. We love you all. You can do this. This is the strongest group we've ever had in Leverage. Let's frickin' do this. Woo! Woohoo!
Happy New Year.
Everyone.
Bye.
Michelle Craig.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Baby Saints. So good to see you all.
Love you.
Love you.
Cool.
Bye,
Bye.
Adrian. Bye, Cindy. Bye, Ellen. Bye, Elizabeth. Bye, Audrey. Bye, Sandra. Bye, everyone. Love you all. Mwah. Go get some clients.
Bye-bye.